What's up, guys? It's Wednesday and it's time for another Waterfowl Wednesday. And on this week's Waterfowl Wednesday, we're going to find out if you are really ready for this upcoming early teal season. Stick around because Waterfowl Wednesday starts right now. What's up, guys, and welcome back to this week's Waterfowl Wednesday. And like I said, on today's Waterfowl Wednesday, we're going to find out if you are really ready for this upcoming early teal season. I know I'm not. I've got a lot of things still left that I've got to do, and that's what I'm doing today. So we're out here in the Decoy trailer, and I'm going to show y'all what we're doing, what I'm looking at here. Now, I got all of my teal decoys are in this bag. Every one of them. I've got blue wing, I've got green wing, I've got Dakotas, I've got Academy brand, I've got all kinds of stuff. But I wanted to check and make sure, because I haven't fooled with them much lately, I wanted to make sure that everything was rigged up and ready to go. And fortunately it is. So ain't gotta fool with that. Decoys are rigged and ready to go. So, always a plus. Ain't gotta fool with that. Which I thought they were. But, hey, you know, look. I've been fooling with this stuff on and off since season went out. So, you know, I bought new rigging. I throwed away some old stuff that was broke. Replaced some stuff. I've been doing this kind of stuff on and off this whole time. So, kind of lose track of what you've done after you've done so much. So, I want to check on them. Well, that's good to go. And I've got them in this, I've got my teal decoys in this Rig 'em Right waterfowl bag. This bag is called the Rig 'em Right Tanker XL. I really like this bag. There's 2.5 dozen decoys inside this bag, and you can still see how much actual room is still in this bag. Now this is teal decoy, so obviously if it was mallards or something like this, which this one has mallards and your bigger ducks in it, and I think it's got about the same, but it's still got a good bit of space in it too. But anyway, I really like it because it's got these D-rings on the inside. You can hang your carabiners in there, and you're not fumbling around trying to find them, and you can grab your decoys and see there, they just come right out. They're not all tangled up amongst everything else. Everything's together. So I really like those D-rings, and where I can put those carabiners in. It's got one on that corner and one on that corner. So yeah, if you like that bag, I'll put the link in the description. You can go down there and pick you one up. It's called the Rig 'em Right Tanker XL. It's a really nice bag. So links in the description. Pick it up. Matter of fact, pretty much everything I'm going to talk about today, if you like it, if you want it, want to check it out, the link will be in the description. So be sure and do that. See what I'm talking about? We got new mojos, blue wing, green wing. I got diver mojos, redhead, bluebill. See, I got all this new stuff. So much new stuff in here. It's a lot. You know, I've been doing these Waterfowl Wednesdays. I've been trying to share tips and talk to y'all about things. All the while, I've kind of neglected myself, so got to do that because I got a very select few off days between now and the time season comes in. But I know one of the biggest things I'm going to do today is I was really just kind of getting a count. Make sure I had everything, make sure all the decoys were rigged. If not, how many sets of weights, you know, Texas rigging I needed to get, which all that's good to go, so that's good. Got 2 Tanglefree panel blinds. All that's good. Nothing to do there. I got my deer cart, which we won't really be using that here, but when we go to Mississippi during teal season, we'll use it then because we'll have to pull the cart. And speaking of that, Gum, that thing just knocked me in the head. You see that? So speaking of that, Mississippi during teal season, me and Derek Payne from Magnolia Flyways and Alex Gratton from True Southern Waterfowlers, we're all going to be getting together for a collaboration hunt in Mississippi, September the 25th. I won a draw on the WMA over there. Unfortunately, they did not, but I can take 3 guests. So they are going with me. And we're going to hopefully go over there and whack some teal. So the 3 of us will all be together. If you watch our live streams, you've seen us, you know who we are. We call it, we're 3 guys, 3 YouTubers. We all got together. We formed a group called the Delta Flock. All because we're located, you know, geographically in the Delta region. So yeah, if you hadn't checked them out, go do that. Derek Payne from Magnolia Flyways, they're both putting out weekly content. It's really good stuff. So go check them out. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell. They would really appreciate it, and I would too. So, but one of the main things I got to do is I've got to do some work on my Beavertail sled. There's nothing wrong with it, but I got to make some modifications to it. I got decoy bags everywhere and flip tops and marsh seats and all that stuff's in there. So kind of what I'm going to do, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drag this Beavertail sled in here and I'm going to show you, kind of go over what I'm going to do and talk about it a little bit, and we'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Alright, now we got the Beavertail sled inside the trailer. And I've got 2 sleds. I got an Eagle Claw jet sled and I've got the Beavertail sled. Well, that is the Eagle Claw sled. It's a little bit smaller typically than the Beavertail. So what we're going to do here is, I've got my drill. What I'm going to do is, I saw on my buddy Derek from Magnolia Flyways, he did a video, I don't know, a couple months back about these Beavertail sleds and some modifications that you can do to them. And you know, if you know me and you know where I hunt and know the style of hunting that I do, I don't do any walk-in hunting. Well, I am this year when we go to Nebraska and places like that, and even over in Mississippi during teal season. Can't have any trucks or SUVs, and it's just marshland, so you're not gonna really use the boats. So you got to walk in. So this will really be my first year using a sled. And anyway, he did a video on some modifications you can do to a sled to kind of make it a little more efficient, I guess you could say. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my drill right here, my DeWalt drill. I'm going to take it and I'm going to drill like a hole here in this side, one there, maybe one there, and I'll probably do 3 on this side, 3 on that side, and maybe 2 on each end. And the reason for that is, I'm gonna have all my gear in here, you know, decoys, shotgun, marsh seat, all that type of stuff will be in here. And I'm gonna put it on the deer cart, so it'll be sitting on there. Well, to keep and have to worry about things falling off, falling around, getting knocked down and all that, you can take some bungee cords or something like that and run across your gear to keep it contained. And that just gives you some places that you can hook that bungee cord and it be secure. Because if you don't, if you just try to hook it on this lip right here, you know, on this lip, what's gonna happen is it's gonna slide, okay? And it could, you know, catch on a limb or something, and it could slide and pull it off. Whereas if I drilled a hole, I could take the end of that hook and stick it in that hole and turn it, and it'll be latched, it'll be secured, it's not gonna slip, it's not gonna slide. So that's what we're doing, that's why we're doing it. So we're gonna do that here in just a second, and I'll tune y'all back in when we get done with it. Now we got our anchor points, is what I'm gonna call them. We got them drilled, in the Beavertail sled, and I'll show you what we did, and maybe it'll make a little more sense to you if you didn't already understand what I was talking about. But see there, we got these holes drilled. We got them kind of all the way around. And you know, you can take that hook, stick it in that hole and turn it, and it'll get a little better bite. So be able to hold on a lot better. And that's the whole purpose, keep your gear secure, right? So pretty much what I've done is I've got a count on the decoys. Decoys are ready to go. They're ready. Got nothing to do there. Don't have to replace no weights. Everything's brand new and already been replaced, and I thought it had, so that's good. I got the sled ready to go. Now, I got the new Mojos, so I know that I ain't got no batteries for the Mojos. So we got to get that. So, got to get batteries for the Mojos. Panel blinds are ready to go when and if I decide to use them during teal season. Only other thing I know I gotta get together here is I've got to get my rechargeable hedge trimmer. You know, like you trim your bushes at your house, your shrubbery. I like to take that with me when I'm gonna use a blind or something like that. I need to cut some brush. That thing is perfect. Cordless, charge it the night before. It'll run forever. But anyway, we got that ready to go. Decoys are ready. Sleds ready. Panel blinds are ready if I need them. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is extremely, extremely, extremely important. Now, especially if you're like me and you use a boat and outboard motor. So we're going to move over here to the Assassin, my duck boat, and I'm going to go over some things there, and you really need to take note and pay attention. All right, let's go to the boat. Now, all right, we're back here at the Assassin. Now, one of the most important things about my hunting for this year is this boat right here. All right, now if this boat and motor is not in working order, then oh wow, he ain't going hunting. Okay, so what I do once a year, this is a Yamaha 25 4-stroke outboard motor. So once a year you have to change the oil in a 4-stroke outboard. Now, I haven't done mine yet this year. I always do it right before teal season. Fortunately, UPS just dropped off my oil and filter, so I'm going to do that. Got to get that done. Not going to have time to do it today because we got a JV football game and volleyball, all that, but maybe tomorrow. Got to get it done on one of my next off days between now and teal season, so got to get that done. But that's crucial. I mean, that's changing the oil is the life of your motor. If you don't change the oil in it, that's neglect, and it's just going to increase wear and tear on your pistons and everything else in there, and it's just not good. But now if you got a 2-stroke, you don't have to worry about changing the oil in it because it doesn't take oil. Oil's in the gas, right? So, but you'll need to check your carburetor, especially if it's been sitting up most of the summer, spring. You haven't really used it much since last duck season. You could have old gas in your tank. And with this ethanol gas we got nowadays, you know, it gums up carburetors, and it's just not good stuff. So you'll need to check on that. Crank it up, let it run. You may need to put some fresh gas in there, clean that carburetor bowl out. You never know, but that's what you may have to do if you have a 2-stroke motor. Me, 4-stroke, ain't gotta worry about that. It's fuel injected, got good gas in it, stabil, got some fuel stabilizer in it. Good to go. Just got to get the oil changed. Now, once you get the oil changed in this thing, one of the first things you want to do is you got to drop it over in a tank, you know, because this is where your intake for your water pump is going to pick up your water. So anyway, you got to drop it over in some water, crank it up, check your oil, make sure you got plenty of oil on the stick, everything looks good. But while it's running, you got to be making sure that right here is your water pump discharge. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, what that is, that's where the water it takes in, it cools the motor, and it goes back out. You got to make sure that's flowing, because if you don't have any water flow, water intake coming into the engine, then it will burn the engine up. That's how it cools itself. So that's very, very important. You may need to replace your water pump. Your impeller could be worn out. So that's crucial. You crank that thing up. If you ain't got some water flow, it needs to be pretty strong. Rev it up a little bit and see if your stream changes. If it does, you're good to go. So that's crucial. Check that water pump. Gotta have it. And so aside from the motor, one thing I have to do is I've got lots of different types of lights on my boat. I've got navigation lights, I've got a LED light bar up front, and I have got right there, see that gray rope looking thing in the middle? I have got some LED rope lights inside the boat. Now, I check all this stuff by one simple thing. I got a power inverter inside my boat. Now it's hooked to my battery over here, so everything runs off the battery. Rope lights are right here. I turn on a switch and that will turn on my, everything works for my navigation lights, LED light bar, and the LED rope lights. So we can go ahead and check out the LED rope lights right now. See there? Got that bad boy lit up. Look at there, ready to go. So we know that's working. So we know that the rope lights work. We're gonna see about the light bar. I can already tell you it's working. I can see it lit up. Oh yeah. So, and I'm not gonna go through all the trouble of dragging out the poles and everything for the video purposes because I'm self-filming. I got a camera in one hand, so but I'll check the navigation lights later and make sure that's ready to go. Now, all right, so we got our motor checked out, we got our lights checked out, everything's ready to go. Now one of the most important things you need to do to your boat is what I'm fixing to go over next. Now, one of the most important things you need to check on your boat after you've got your boat ready, your motor's ready, everything's ready to go. One of the most important things you need to check before you scratch out down the highway or interstate on a duck trip this upcoming season is going to be this right here. Your bearings. All right, now mine's all dirty because it ain't been too long ago. We went to the river and the boat landed down a dirt road, so I gotta get the trailer washed up. But anyway, all you do for mine, I don't know how yours may be, you just take your little rubber mallet, you can knock this dust cap off. There's a grease fitting in there. Just pump that bearing full of grease. Keep pumping it until all the old grease comes out and you don't see nothing but new, clean grease. And then once you do that, once you got nothing but clean grease coming out, take your paper towel, wipe that old grease off and pop that cap right there. Knock it back in with your rubber mallet and you're good to go. Guys, I cannot tell you how important that right there is. That right there will break your hunt for the whole day. Okay, if you're sitting on the side of the road because you have lost a hub or burn up a bearing, something like that, you ain't going hunting. Okay, you're not going, not happening. So, and not to mention, you gotta go to the parts house, find a bearing, get some bearings, or replace the whole hub depending on how bad the damage is. And depending on what your work schedule and all that stuff, like, you may not even get to go the next day. It may take you a day or two to fix it. It's a simple fix. It doesn't take very long if you know how to do it and you got the right stuff, but you never know. So now that to me is extremely important. I don't want to be the guy sitting on the side of the road or on the side of the interstate on the way to Arkansas because I lost a bearing. So I'm gonna make sure. I usually do that twice a year. I usually repack those bearings right before teal season, and then I typically do it again about halfway through the duck season because I'm pulling this trailer a whole lot and it's not hurting anything. It's the grease is fine, but it's just peace of mind. You don't have to grease them that often. I do it for peace of mind. That way I can't be sitting on the side of the road and say, golly, Alan, you didn't check them bearings, you didn't grease them bearings. No, Alan greased his bearings. He always greases his bearings. So it ain't gonna be from lack of neglect from my part. So I'm gonna take care of my bearings. Now, the next thing about your trailer that you're gonna need to make sure it is in good working order. And this is just as important as the bearings. To me, the bearings are a little more important because that's mechanical. This is electrical, and it's pretty simple to fix. Anybody can do it. It's gonna be your trailer lights. Okay, that right there will bust your hunt as well. Okay, that will cost you money, and it will cost you a hunt. Potentially, it will potentially cost you money by, if it don't work, you got to fix it. It could cost you money by 2, getting a ticket. It's a law. You got to have it. Got to have trailer lights. So 3, it can bust your hunt by, if you get rear-ended on the way to the boat ramp, well, you ain't going hunting, because first thing they gonna hit is that bad boy right there. All right, they gonna hit that motor, and this gonna mess up the motor, which is gonna mess up the boat, and then it's gonna mess up my trailer. So check your lights, make sure they work. The tail lights, the blinker lights, and the brake lights. Make sure all that stuff works. So that's pretty much where we're at. We got everything ready to go. I got a count on what I need. I've got the stuff done I wanted to get done. So now all that's really left at this point is to pretty much just I got to get the batteries, and I've got to make the transition from my blind bag to my backpack style blind bag. I just got to get everything moved over, and then at that point I will be ready to go. It's almost here, guys. Got about 2 weeks. So if y'all haven't done these things, do that. Get your decoys out, check your rigs, make sure they're ready to go. Get them in your blind, get them in your decoy bag, make sure everything's ready to go. All you gotta do is pick it up and go. All right, if you got a sled, do this right here. Try that out. If you know something better, than that, put it in the comments, let me know. So this is my first year with sleds, don't know a whole lot about them. Everything I've learned about a sled, I learned it from somebody else and watching it on here on YouTube. So let me know. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know this was a totally different style from what I typically do. You know, I'm normally in the office and I'm kind of going over some stuff, I'm talking some stuff, or you know, in a teaching style of a waterfowl Wednesday. I know this was a lot different, but I hope y'all like this. If you do like it, hit that thumbs up button for me. That'll really kind of boost my confidence a little bit, because I was kind of leery about doing this, but I wanted to film it and share it with you, share some points and some thoughts. And sometimes when you can see what somebody's talking about versus them just telling you about it, you can make a little more sense out of it. So I hope these things help you out. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And until next week, guys, y'all bust them up.